beautiful people. Yes, I am in the car. I am about an hour away from my Oklahoma City fairgrounds to go to the medieval Goddess festival, and I'm super excited. But I wanted to hop on here and talk and tell my endometriosis surgery again, because this last video I got super worked up and bitchy, and I don't want that, because yes, I'm hurt, yes, I'm still a little angry, but I am working through that, and I don't want that whole shenanigans up online. I posted it because I felt it, and now I don't feel it, so I deleted it and remaking it, which is fine. That's just part of life. But I really wanted to tell the story because I don't know anyone else who's experienced something like this, or if anyone who has. I just don't want you to feel alone, because that's how I feel. But I really want my story out there. So I'm just gonna tell it while I drive, and I'm just, and talk to you guys. But so what happened was, this was my 17th surgery. Yes, I've had 16 surgeries before this, and I thought I had all the documentation I could possibly ever think of needing, wanting, or whatever for the surgery to prove I can't use surgical glue. I begged the doctor before surgery not to use surgical glue. She said, fine, I won't use it. So I went in confident on my 17th surgery that I would get sutures this time, because every surgery prior to that, they've used the glue. And so I purposely knew, I know I'm allergic to it. So I purposely made sure she did not use it, but she used it. And that made the whole surgery experience horrendous. It made me not want to have any relationship with this doctor. It broke my trust in females. I was fully blown traumatized because of this whole incident and this whole surgery. The surgery itself, the cutting, the suturing inside, all of that was fine. I didn't have any issues with that. But I did have an issue with the glue that she used. And so the pustules started happening probably within 2 or 3 days after surgery. And so my skin was getting super itchy and hot, and I thought I was getting infection. So what I did was I called in my doctor and was like, hey, I have an appointment in 2 weeks for post-op recheck or whatever it's called. And so I went in there, and they're I called up, and they're like, yeah, come on in, we got you in, we can get you in soon. So they got me in. It was great. And I thought, okay, she's gonna remove the glue and do some lidocaine and suture it up and apologize, and everything's gonna be fine and dandy. That did not happen. She removed the glue, yes, but that was it. She did nothing prior or anything after that. She gave me a little ointment cream to use on the skin that was irritated and pussy and all this stuff. And then by the second week, I wasn't really feeling internal pain, but I was feeling the skin pain. And I was like, something's off. This isn't right. Something's weird. And it had a little bit of a scab on it, and I thought I was itching around the skin. I was not. I accidentally snagged the scab, and the scab came off. And it was wide open. I walked out into the living room and asked Jason, how deep is this? And his eyes got huge and was like, holy crap, this is deep. We need to go to hospital. hospital. So he gets me in the car. I'm bawling my eyes out because I'm in extreme pain. And so I'm just bawling my eyes out on my way to the hospital. And we get there. They get me back. And they're like, oh, we can't do anything. You didn't have surgery here. And I'm like, you're not even a surgical hospital. You're an emergency room. Like, fix me. Do something, fix me. And they're like, we can't touch you. You didn't have surgery here. This is a liability. I thought that was some bullshit. But I was just like, whatever. Just clean me up. Tape me up. Give me something. I don't care. Just make it go away. I was in so much pain. So they put the little steri strips on it, and they cleaned it up, and all this stuff. It was fine. And then I went home, and then the next day I went to my OB, thinking, okay, she's gonna help me out. She's gonna suture me up, right? I'm wide open. And I get there, I get in the office, and she's like, oh yeah, you opened up. Let me go get the glue. The same glue that caused the irritation that made her remove it early anyways. That glue. She was going to go put that back on me. And I was like wide awake, so I was like, hell no to that. That ain't happening. You're not touching me with a glue. So we decided to, actually we didn't decide anything. She decided that she was going to clean it and like test it for bacteria and viruses and what all the infections. So she swabbed it. I was flopping around on the table without a pain. Like, it hurt. She didn't numb it. She didn't do anything. She just stuck a Q-tip in there and just did this little number to it. For a good, like, 3 minutes or so. Like, it was bad. It probably wasn't 3 minutes, but it probably was like a minute, but it felt forever. And so so like she's just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting on the table, she's cleaning it up and everything, and before I know it, she's pulling out a match looking thing, and I'm like, oh, this bitch better not be like lighting this, right? And no, she doesn't light it. She just sticks it right inside me, and she's like, she really didn't say it was gonna hurt or anything like that. She was like, it's gonna sting a little bit. But let me tell you, it didn't sting. It burned. Like, burned of 1,000 blazing hot degrees of cast iron being put on your skin burnt. Like, I thought I was going to black out. I was in pain. That much pain. And it takes a lot for me to get in that much pain. So I'm flailing around. I'm crying my eyes out. And then she's like, okay, you're good to go. Excuse me? You didn't close this up. You didn't do anything except torture my ass. And you're telling me to go home? Like, it's not a big deal. Like you didn't do any of this stuff to me right now. Like, my brain, I already have a trauma brain. So this threw me into overdrive. Like, if she told me it was going to burn like 1,000 blazing hot irons, okay, let me meditate for a quick second. Let me get in a zone and I'll be okay. I could handle this. But no, she didn't say that. She said it was going to sting a little bit. When I see her sting a little bit, I think, okay, it's going to be like a piercing or alcohol and a cut or something like that, where it's like a sting and a gone. No, this was a burning and a lingering. Like, it burned for 2 days. Maybe it was in my psyche that it burned for 2 days, but I felt it burning for 2 days. And then it started turning really black and all this stuff. Then about a week later, I get a call being like, hey, you need to be on this antibiotic because you have a staph infection that is resistant to basically any type of antibiotic. So I had to be put on a special antibiotic for the staph infection due to the fact she put glue on me to begin with. And so that happened. And she told me to leave it open. Just leave it open. And I'm like, I can't, it's on my hip. I can't leave this open. Like, every time I walk, it opens and it closes, opens and closes, opens and closes. So I had to go get some wound care stuff and do it myself, basically, take care of my own wound. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just had a general idea on how I've seen other nurses do it inside hospital. Like, that's my basic knowledge, is I've seen nurses and doctors do it on TV and in the hospital myself. That's it. So I swung it. I just swung. I just was like, okay, I'm gonna try my best and whatever. So I don't know, it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the soldering and the burning and all of that fun stuff. I was in my office and I was having a great day. I wasn't feeling pain. It was great. So I was in my studio office place and I was filling my meds. I got a little itch, so I went and scratched it.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto East 730 Road.
And so I got an itch, and so I scratched it, not really realizing where the itch was. And out comes the entire scab. Underneath, it was still raw and open.
Take the next left onto East 730 Road.
So here we go again. I'm just like screaming in pain. Go back to hospital. The hospital I had the surgery in. And they were like, oh,
continue for 11 miles.
We can do. So I literally sat in a holding room for 2 hours, bawling my eyes out, begging for help. No help to give. Get back into the hospital room that they finally got for me, given morphine, said there's nothing else we can do for you, and they send me home. So I have to go to my primary care doctor at this point. I am now seeing like 4 different doctors for one surgery, so technically 5 doctors. So it's been the doctor who did the surgery, the ER doctor, another ER doctor, and now my primary care. So 4 doctors. I'm on my 4th doctor on one surgery. And he's looking at it and is like, well, there's not much I can do, but I'm going to prescribe you a little bit more pain meds until it heals. I'm like, I don't want pain meds. I just want this closed up. I want it to be healed. I want it done. I don't want to keep doing this. But I ended up having to spend another month taking care of this. Actually, probably a month and a half, probably. I was bandaging and taking care of it and using money out of my own pocket because insurance doesn't pay for over-the-counter wound care bandages. So everything was coming out of my pocket. And it's just like, it's almost like no fucks given. It's like, oh, you're a female, you can handle anything. No. If it was a guy, they would be like, okay, but we got you. Your suture's opened up. Let's put some lidocaine in here. Let's suture you up right now. We got you, bro. Like, that's how it would be. But since I'm a female, that's not the case. I am literally stuck having to heal my own wounds when there are doctors who are medically, trained to do this. And then little did I know, my aunt, who I recently found, who I went to Louisiana with, was a wound care nurse. And she was like, well, you should have told me. I would have been right there. Then come to find out she has her license to practice in Oklahoma, so she could have even been in the operating room with the surgeon to make sure that the surgeon didn't use glue. So I'm just like over here trying to figure out what to do. I've thought about contacting an attorney for medical neglect, but even then I don't know if that's even worth my time. But I don't know. But I have really learned I can't trust doctors. Like, there's still a few doctors in my phone book that I have on speed dial for emergencies and stuff like that. Like, that I know I can rely on, that I know they got me. But like new doctors, I don't want to play with them. I don't want to, no. But now I'm having to go find a new OB doctor because I can't go back to that other doctor. Like, I can't. I literally sat for an entire hour at my therapist's office working through this trauma, and I'm like, do I go up and talk to her about this? Do I call her? Like, what do I do? You know what my therapist told me? My therapist told me it's not worth it. Contacting her, going to talk to her, telling her how I feel and how she hurt me and how she shouldn't do this to other patients is not going to make any difference. Because if she really cared and really listened to begin with, she wouldn't have used the glue to begin with. And none of this would have happened. So, now, I have not just trauma from men, I have trauma from females now. And I'm working through it. And I'm going to come out on the other side bigger, better, and stronger, as I always do. But excuse me, why do I have to pay for more therapy because of a surgery that was like fine to begin with, and then you botched it at the end? Now I'm having to go and spend more money on more therapy to get over this trauma that has now attached to other traumas that are now coming up. Like, what? Like, I 100% say do trauma therapy. 100%. But when you do trauma therapy, be prepared to have your world shaken, because you will learn your brain and how it works and how it functions, and it's insane because it likes to tie everything to everything. So I can have a little happy moment right here, but my brain's going to put it with this trauma to where I don't remember it because it was within this category. So I get to go through this trauma ball to get to this happy moment on the other side. But I mean, hey, it works. I'm happier and I'm healthier, and I'm still working through this, and I still get worked up, and I still feel so angry and frustrated and hurt by this doctor. And now I'm also having to face finding a new OB in Oklahoma right now. And finding OBs in Oklahoma right now is super, super difficult. Absolutely difficult, because right now no OB is really taking any new patients. And the reason due to that is because of our governor making the laws he has for abortions and birth controls. So, yeah, I have to go get my Depo-Lupron shot here soon. And now I have to go find a new OB that I can send it to have them give it to me. Yay. But yeah, it's a thing. I'm driving. Like, there's nothing on this road. There's not even light on this road. And I'm hands-free, so it is what it is. I was either going to listen to music or talk to myself. And so I decided I was going to video and talk to you guys instead of being weird and talking to myself about all this again and again and again. But now that I've made this video, I'm going to post it when I get home because I'm currently nowhere with good internet because I'm up in Enid visiting my sister for the weekend, or actually my sister is out of town. I'm up here visiting my nephew and his girlfriend, let's be honest. But I'm staying in my sister's house. Actually, it was my Mimi's house, then my aunt's house, and now it's my sister's house. It's a wonderful house. I love the house. But yes, I got to wait for a little while. I'm processing still some stuff. I'm probably going to make a video about it later. But yes, I just speak up when something feels off, or if a doctor feels off and you aren't comfortable with the doctor, you don't have to stay with that doctor. Just remember that if things go awry, it'll be okay. It's gonna be okay. Life is gonna be a little bumpy, and sometimes it just gets a little more bumpier than you're planning on. But if you ride out the bumps and you ride out the wind and the storm and the rain and all that fun stuff, you'll come out on the other side better, brighter, shinier, and happier. But as long as you continue to move forward and growth within yourself, you'll see improvements all around in your life. So yeah, I'm gonna get off here and continue on my way down this country road, and there's some pretty sheep over there. But yeah, I'm gonna head on down this country road down to the fairgrounds, to the Renaissance Scots and Scotland Festival. Yeah, it's 1:45 now. It closes at 6, so I have a few hours. I'll be there about 2:30. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. I'm excited. Alrighty. So I hope y'all have a great time, a great day, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this. I hope you are having a great and wonderful day. And remember, it doesn't cost to pay